So it was Corey Schutte on night 2, Isaac Chappell on night 1. 24 cars form the field here tonight with the POWRi Wingless Auto Racing Sprint League. As it looks like car number 93, Taylor Walton, going to visit the work area real quick and back out onto the racetrack. He'll get that car refired, tag it to the rear of the field. So as the field forms, see what that car number 93 of Taylor Walton is going to do. Impact signs, awnings, and wraps on the side. As it looks like he's going to take it around, tag it to the rear of the field. So race fans, you can see it starting to take shape down the front row. One of the most beautiful sights in all of auto racing, our 4-wide salute to you, the race fans, right here at Lucas Oil Speedway. So as they come around, I ask you to do me a favor. Can you please rise back straight away? It's your turn. Pick out your favorite number, favorite car, favorite driver, give a big hoop, holler, wave it a send-off. Make some noise for the POWRi Wingless Auto Racing Sprint League right here at the Diamond of the Dirt tracks. Making their way through turns number 3 and 4. Front straightaway, this is your chance. Pick them out, hoop, holler, make some noise. 4 wide, ready to slide. Our salute to you, the race fans, right here at the 13th annual Jesse Hoickett Daniel McMillan Memorial. And now that pace truck is going to stretch it out. And we're going to rack, stack, reload, and get ready to go. 30 laps the distance. $4,077 on the line here tonight to the feature winner with the POWRi Wingless Auto Racing Sprint League. Corey Schutte, Isaac Chappell in row 1, Mario Klauser, Matt Sherrill, Rylan Gray, Blake Vermillion, Wyatt Burks, Caleb Stelzick, Xavier Doney, Riley Kreisel, Ricky Lewis, Wesley Smith, Colton Cottle, Keith Martin, Quentin Benson, Zach Clark, Anthony Nicholson, Jack Wagner, Taylor Walton, Luke Howard, Casey Schumann, Rob Cahoe, Dakota Earls, Jesse Vermillion is the field. Looking him over one last time. Roy down there in the flag stand is our air traffic controller. Going to be giving them the 1 to go signal this time by. As not quite ready to go, it looks like car number 33, I believe, of Wesley Smith coming to a stop. Exit of turn number 4. Looks like a flat left rear on that car, number 33 of Wesley Smith. Breaking out the backup car this weekend. That's his younger brother, Bryson Smith's car, the all-metal recycling on the side. It's Wesley Smith out of Billings, Missouri, driving it. Check out his YouTube channel, Wesley Smith Racing. Helm Racing on the side, CarQuest, Auto Parts, Auto Metal Recycling, Advanced Professionals, DRC Chassis with a Westmar Racing engine. 12 career feature wins to his credit. 3 POWRi West Midget wins. 1 win on the season, 13 top 5s, 16 top 10s, and 26 feature starts. Night 2 would find him 18th in the feature after battling in that runner-up position. Wins a last chance qualifier earlier in the event. As car 33, Wesley Smith, it looks like he's over into the work area. As the time starts, 33, Wesley Smith. 60 seconds on the clock as the field is formed. clock has started. So giving time to the 33 of Wesley Smith over in the work area. Just past turn number 2. I can see it up here on the screen on Racing Dirt and start to finish. And team's busy working. I believe they're changing the whole left rear tire. I seen it go up. It just came back down as getting the thumbs up. 33 Wesley Smith, repairs have been made. He should be coming out onto the track off the work area. 33 Smith back out onto the track. Good shot there from our infield camera operator. 33 of Wesley Smith coming down the back straightaway, getting fired off as he will be tagging it to the rear of the field. So a couple cars already having to go over into the work area. We haven't even seen a green flag lap yet. The 93 of Walton and the 33 of Wesley Smith, both tagging those cars to the rear of the field. As the lights go down, the field is set. We're going to be looking for green flag racing coming off turn number 4. It's Corey Schutte on the inside, Isaac Chappell on the high side, batten down the hatches and hold on tight, race fans. This is war. Looking for green out of 4. Schutte, Chappell, Klauser, Sherrill, Gray, Vermillion, Burke, Stelzig, Doney, Kreisel, all inside the top 10. Green flags waving. We're racing at Lucas Oil Speedway. Championship night of the Hoickett McMillan Memorial. Chappell got a bicycle up into the wall. Everybody able to get around on the inside. Isaac Chappell shooting straight up the racetrack. Caution flag waves. Gets woed back down. That car bicycled as it went into the corner. Great job by Chappell keeping it down on all 4s. Everybody able to avoid contact as safety officials already over there checking out that car number 60 of Isaac Chappell, night number 1 winner, as we have a replay here on Racing Dirt and start to finish as it looked like Schutte out to the early advantage. Chappell just goes into the corner right in the middle, and it looks like the car hooked as he was wanting to set it, and kind of the whole thing just kind of did not want to cooperate as he went through turns number 1 and 2. So a tough break for that car number 60 of Isaac Chappell out of Fortville, Indiana. Doug and Wanda Hall own K&L, no drama zone, MMR on the side, 10 plate, LNR Racing, a DRC chassis with a Claxton Chevy Racing engine. 11 top 5s, 19 top 10s, 30 feature starts. Again, our night number 1 winner, car number 60 of Isaac Chappell. It looks like also coming to a stop down here on the front straightaway. That's going to be car number 73V of Blake Vermillion out of Greencastle, Indiana. Nobles Tax Service, Union Graphics, Vermillion Screen Printing, Stewart Homes, DRC Chassis, Vermillion Chevy. 4 top 10s on the year, 16 feature starts for the Greencastle, Indiana racer. Our night number 2 rounded out the podium. So I understand car number 73V of Blake Vermillion, he will get his spot back. This was a safety stop. His seatbelts actually came unbuckled, so he had to stop down there for safety officials and show them kind of, hey, I came unbuckled. I need to help get him back in. And so he will get his spot back in that car number 73V because it was a safety issue. Vermillion will get his spot. He will start inside row number 2 as Matt Sherrill now in car number 15. Going to move up to the outside of row number 1. Schutte and now Matt Sherrill in the front row. Mario Klauser and Blake Vermillion now in row number 2. Rylan Gray, Caleb Stelzik in row 3, Wyatt Burks, Riley Kreisel in row 4, Xavier Doney, and I believe now Keith Martin in row number 5. Vermillion trying to get through there as he gets into his position outside of row 2. The lights are down. The field is set. We come to green out of 4. Corey Schutte, Matt Sherrill now setting the pace. Down the back straightaway, we're going to be looking for green flag conditions coming out of turn number 4. Schutte and Sherrill bringing us to green out of 4. Good start there by that car number 28 of Corey Schutte as he's out to the early advantage. A little bit of a wheel hop as they go into turns number 1 and 2. Schutte and Sherrill down the back straightaway as car number 93 of Taylor Walton going to pull down into the infield. It's going to be Corey Schutte, your leader, but Matt Sherrill going to gain some speed down the front stretch. Corey Schutte, lap number 1 leader. Matt Sherrill the second, Mario Klauser running third, Rylan Gray now up to fourth as the 11W of Wyatt Burke's going to round out the top 5. Blake Vermillion, Caleb Stelzik. Here comes Xavier Doney creeping down to his outside, but up on the high side, lifting that left front wheel in the air. Car number 91 of Riley Kreisel with a whole bunch of speed as caution flag coming out onto the racetrack. It looks like car number 8D of Colton Cottle collected by the infield tractor tire. He's out of Kansas, Illinois. KCBJ Motorsports on the side. Schlottweiler Racing, Farmers Insurance, Armitage Collision Center, XK Glow, AJ Felker Racing Engines, Penske Shocks, Maxim Chassis with the Felker 410 Racing Engine. Car number 8D of Colton Cottle, 1 career win back in 2018. Here in 2023 has one seasonal win, 2 top 5s, 5 top 10s, and 11 season starts. Night number 2 would see the Kansas, Illinois wheelman drive the Michael Schlottweiler prepared entry up into 7th place finish on night number 2. So 2 laps now in the books, I believe. 2 laps down. Car number 28, Corey Schutte at the point of the field. Matt Sherrill running second. Mario Klauser scored third. Rylan Gray, Wyatt Burks rounding out the top 5. Blake Vermillion running 6th. Riley Kreisel scored 7th. Caleb Stelzik to 8th. Xavier Doney 9th. Keith Martin rounding out the top 10. Ricky Lewis up to 11th. Jack Wagner 12th. Quentin Benson 13th. Anthony Nicholson and Luke Howard all inside the top 15. Zachary Clark, Casey Schumann, Dakota Earls, Rob Cahoe, Jesse Vermillion, top 20 running. As Wesley Smith, Colton Cottle, Isaac Chappell, Taylor Walton unofficially rounding out the field with 2 laps in the books. As you see down on the front straightaway, the choose cone coming into effect. It looks like Schutte going low, Sherrill high, Klauser low, Gray high, Wyatt Burks and Vermillion going low, Riley Kreisel, Caleb Stelzik looking high. Everybody else kind of back and forth, giving all of these drivers the chance to choose which lane they want to start. Something new here in 2023 with the Power Wingless Auto Racing Sprint League. We debuted it back in Texas and last year with Micromania, kept it through DuQuoin and into the 2023 season. Lights go down, field set, coming to green out of 4. Corey Schutte, Matt Sherrill side by side. Teammates in Klauser and Gray, Burks and Kreisel back to green flag racing. Schutte's race to start. Already got about a 2-3 car length advantage over the 15 of Matt Sherrill, but Sherrill driving it deep up into the high side. Klauser low side looking, taking over the runner-up position, but Sherrill going to go Hoosier to Hoosier as they go into turns number 3 and 4. Rylan Gray up on the high side. Wyatt Burks right there in the mix as well. Burks going to move up to 4th. Riley Kreisel looking on the low line. Gray going to force the issue out of 2. Xavier Doney in his tire tracks down the back chute. Doney going to look to the low line on the 91 of Kreisel as we got 3-4 wide racing back behind him. The 41 of Ricky Lewis finding some speed right in the middle of the racetrack. Jack Wagner going to try to follow suit. Keep an eye on that car number 41 of Ricky Lewis as caution flag will wave. Caution comes out onto the racetrack. Car number 26 of Zach Clark bringing out the caution over at turns number 1 and 2. He's out of Raymore, Missouri. CNC Motorsports, Highside Designs, KC Grilling Company, Delta Plumbing, Heartland Tire and Tread, Pyramid Construction, DRC Chassis with an Al Parker Racing Engine. Car number 26 of Zach Clark coming to a stop in the middle of turns number 1 and 2. 2 top 5s on the season, 7 top 10s, and 15 feature starts. Night number 2 would see Zach Clark and that car number 26 finish 12th. As that car number 26 is Zach Clark able to get that car refired, he'll tag it to the rear of the field. As it sits right now, Schutte, our leader, Klauser to second, Matt Sherrill running third, Wyatt Burks, Rylan Gray inside the top 5, Riley Kreisel, Xavier Doty, Ricky Lewis up to 8th, Blake Vermillion, Keith Martin rounding out the top 10. Wagner, Stelzik, Benson, Nicholson, Dakota Earls up to 15th. As once again, that choose cone coming into play down on the front straightaway. Again, every driver gets their choice of either inside line or outside line. Whatever they commit to is what they have to stick to on the restart. Our leader is the first one to fire, exit of 4. So Schutte with the first choice. He goes low. Klauser, high. Sherrill, high. Wyatt Burks now up to inside second row. High, high. Look at Xavier Doty creeping up. He's going to go all the way up into the third row inside in that car number 74. Vermillion in the 73 follows suit. Wheel to wheel with the 91 of Riley Kreisel, Keith Martin, Ricky Lewis, all inside the restarting top 10. So Schutte on the inside, Klauser on the high side. Lights down, field set, 4 laps in the books. Taking them slow through 3, and it's going to be fast out of 4. Good start once again by the car number 28 of Corey Schutte as Klauser looks on the high side. Wyatt Burke's going to get a huge head of steam down the back straightaway, but on the high side, Klauser surpasses him. Xavier Doty throws it up, looking for some speed around the outside. He pulls wheel to wheel with the 6 of Klauser. Going into turns number 1 and 2, Xavier Doty showing a whole bunch of speed, coming through the pack now up into the runner-up spot. It's Xavier Doty, high side hustling. Corey Schutte down low looking, new leader at the line, round the outside, 74, Xavier Doty, your new leader. Wyatt Burks now going to look to the inside of car number 28 of Corey Schutte, but Schutte holding steady up on the high line. The 6 of Klauser right on that back tail tank of the 11W of Wyatt Burks. Car number 77, the gentleman Jack Wagner now with a slide job into the top 5 ahead of the 15 of Matt Sherrill. 06, Rylan Gray, the 41, Ricky Lewis, all in the mix right behind him with the 73V of Blake Vermillion and the 91 of Riley Kreisel. Dakota Earls in the mix as well with the 15B of Quentin Benson and the 79 of Keith Martin trying to maintain momentum with this leading pack. But up front, 74, Xavier Doty, a little bit of miscue on his preliminary night, and he's trying to rebound here on championship night. 2 feature wins this season to match his previous 2 feature wins, 4 wins with the POWRi Wingless Auto Racing Sprint League. Doty also chasing Rookie of the Year honors in our POWRi Bandit Outlaw Sprint Series. As way up the track went car number 77 of Jack Wagner. He's going to get shuffled around, move back a couple spots. So it's Doty, your leader. Schutte sitting second. Wyatt Burks running third, Klauser to 4th, Ricky Lewis now rounding out the top 5 as the 77 of Jack Wagner running 6th, Rylan Gray 7th, Matt Sherrill 8th, Riley Kreisel 9th, Blake Vermillion running inside the top 10, 79 of Keith Martin, kind of a Vermillion sandwich because right behind him, Jesse Vermillion in car number 5. Vermillion, though, going to look to the low line, getting past the 79 of Keith Martin. Quentin Benson right behind him, Dakota Earls and Caleb Stelzik side by side. A little bit of puff of smoke there out of that car number 2H of Luke Howard as he's trying to stay in front of the AD of Colton Cottle. Laps starting to tick away at a rapid pace right now with 13 laps in the books this time by Xavier Doty, our leader. Corey Schutte sitting second. Ricky Lewis now up to third as he's able to get around the 11W of Wyatt Burks. So keep an eye on that car number 41 here in the late stages of this feature as it looks like off track and caution flag will wave as one of them up high in turn number 2. That is, again, going to be car number 8D, Colton Cottle, facing the wrong way in, one way up in turn number 2. Red flag conditions come out onto the racetrack. Car number 2, Kyle Lewis, coming to a stop down here on the front straightaway. Safety officials already there as they're going to help put out the fire on that car number 2H of Kyle Lewis. Sorry, that's the 2H of Luke Howard. My apologies. 2H of Luke Howard out of Overland Park, Kansas. Lewis Racing on the side. Cool Hand Luke, the driver. The Fuel House, Digital One, Cash Kids, Digital Studios, Maxim Chassis, Engine Connection, Racing Engine. Luke Howard in the 2H. With the red flag conditions out there on the racetrack. 2H of Luke Howard talking to safety officials down there, trying to figure out if the car's still good to go or not. As also up on the high side car, number 8D of Colton Cottle. Out of Kansas, Illinois, KCBJ Motorsports, Farmers Insurance, Armitage Collision Center, Schlottweiler Racing, XK Glow, AJ Felker Racing Engine, Penske Shocks, Maxim Chassis with an AJ Felker Racing Engine. The AD of Colton Cottle up on the high side of turn 2. So it looks like the 2H of Luke Howard going to be escorted off the racing surface and over into the work area. See if he goes to the work area or if he bypasses that to go over to his pits. So the 2H Luke Howard again out of Overland Park, Kansas, part of the Lewis Racing Stable. Also out off the track goes car number 8D of Colton Cottle. As I do see movement over in the work area. It doesn't look too urgent over there though, so I'm not quite sure. As now I see movement. Everybody running over to help the 8D of Colton Cottle as well as the 2H of Luke Howard. And from red flag conditions back to yellow flag conditions on the racing surface. Drivers being instructed, if you got somebody behind you, go ahead, push, push. Let's get them refired and ready to go. Rack stack, reload our running order. And as it sits right now, Xavier Doney over Corey Schutte. Ricky Lewis, Wyatt Burks, Mario Klauser all inside the top 5. Jack Wagner, Rylan Gray, Riley Kreisel, Matt Sherrill. Jesse Vermillion inside the top 10. Keith Martin, Blake Vermillion, Quentin Benson, Dakota Earls, Caleb Stelzick, Anthony Nicholson, Wesley Smith, Casey Schumann, Rob Cahoe, Zachary Clark. Unofficially rounding out the field right now as it sits, as we wait and see if a couple of cars are able to make repairs and get back out here onto the racetrack. So over in turns number 3 and 4, you can see kind of a little bit of activity going on that car number 28 of Corey Schutte, currently scored in the runner-up position. If you notice on the scoreboard, it doesn't have that there, but the 28 of Corey Schutte is our runner-up placement right now. Transponder quit working about 5 laps ago, so they're trying to switch out the transponder right now over there in turns number 3 and 4. Also going over into the work area, car number 11W of Wyatt Burks. Burks to the work area. It gets repairs. He's back out onto the racetrack. The 24W Casey Schumann with repairs. He's back out onto the racetrack. So a couple of cars going over into the work area as Wyatt Burks was running inside the top 5. Relinquishes that. He gets it refired. He'll tag it to the rear of the field. Tough break for the car number 11W Wyatt Burks out of Topeka, Kansas. Wholesale batteries on the side. Ultraline Hobbies. Weaver with Toma. Torgensen Trenching. A XXX chassis with the BR Motors racing engine. 11 career Power Wingless Auto Racing Sprint League wins. 7 wins on the season. Night number 1 would see that car number 11W of Wyatt Burks check in to the 4th position, locking into the top 8. So starting to set the field, it's the 74, Xavier Doney, the 28, Corey Schutte, the 41, Ricky Lewis, Mario Klauser, Jack Wagner, Riley Kreisel, Matt Sherrill, Rylan Gray is also up there in the mix as well. Jesse Vermillion, Keith Martin, all inside the top 10. Blake Vermillion, Quentin Benson, Dakota Earls, Caleb Stelzick, Anthony Nicholson, Wesley Smith, Rob Cahoe, Zach Clark, Casey Schumann, Wyatt Burks. As it looks like car number 77, the gentleman Jack Wagner, coming to a stop on the low line of turns number 1 and 2. Doesn't look like a safety concern, so he may be able to refire that car. He'll tag it to the rear of the field. As the lineup is good. See what the 77 of Wagner is able to do. Never good when they reach their hand under the car and smell it afterwards. It looks like liquid underneath the 77 of Wagner. See if he's able to, if he tries to refire, or if he pulls his left hand turn into the infield with the 77, the gentleman, Jack Wagner. Looks like he is going down into the infield as he's giving the universal signal for, I want to go to the work area quickly. Out of Lone Jack, Missouri, Wagner Boys Racing, KC Platinum Contractor, Acres Tire Service, Jesse Hoickett Racing, Fry Autocraft, Gentleman Jack Designs, Maxim Chassis with a Don Odd Racing Engine, 2 career Power Eye Wingless Auto Racing Sprint League feature wins to his credit. One at Lake Ozark Speedway back in 2019, the other this season up at Valley Speedway. However, the field is set. The choose cone is out onto the track. Inside, out, 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 out. So Riley Kreisel going to gain a bunch of positions now, all the way up into row number 2 inside. So again, lineup is set. The 60 seconds have started for that car number 77, the gentleman Jack Wagner. So Wagner into the work area. The clock is running. We'll have to see what happens, as it's going to be Xavier Doney setting the pace. Schutte on the high side. Riley Kreisel, Ricky Lewis, row number 2. Matt Sherrill, Mario Klauser, row 3. Jesse Vermillion, Rylan Gray in row 4. Row 5, Blake Vermillion, and Keith Martin all inside the top 10. As gandering over toward the work area, repairs have been made. 77, the gentleman Jack Wagner back out onto the racetrack. Get that car refired. Tag it to the rear of the field. 13 laps in the books. As Wagner able to get that car fired. Tag it to the rear of the field. The lights go down. The field is set. 13 down of 30. Doney, Schutte. As this is Doney's race to start, he chose the inside line on the choose cone. Schutte searching high. Riley Kreisel gaining some ground on that choose cone. He's able to move up into the 3rd spot. Ricky Lewis up on the high side in 4th. As Doney playing the waiting game. Delayed a little bit as they go into turns number 1 and 2. Doney goes high. Here comes Corey Schutte looking on the low line. Even lower is the 91 of Riley Kreisel. Kreisel now looking for the lead as they go into turns number 3 and 4. Schutte going to let it slide out up to the high line. Drag race down the front straightaway. Corey Schutte, half a car length advantage over the 91 of Riley Kreisel. Up to the high side, the 74 of Xavier Doney, around the 41 of Ricky Lewis. Klauser and Matt Sherrill side by side for 4th and 5th. Make that 5th and 6th. Jesse Vermillion, Blake Vermillion coming up through the field, as well as the 79 of Keith Martin. The 06, Ryland Gray, Dakota Earls. Feeling racy here as it's 28. Corey Schutte setting the pace up on the high line. Sliding through turns number 3 and 4 is Ricky Lewis and the 91 of Riley Kreisel. The 6 of Mario Klauser in the thick of it as well. Kreisel going to lose some ground down the back straightaway. It looks like the top side near to perfection here at Lucas Oil Speedway with the 28, Corey Schutte. The 74, Xavier Doney. Here comes Ricky Lewis with a huge bomb through turns number 1 and 2. Trying to gain some ground. Nothing ventured, nothing lost for that 41 as, Doney going to miss the cushion up on the high side. That's going to open up the door. 41 of Ricky Lewis is right there as, hard rollover up into the outside wall. Hard rollover and up into the outside wall. Driver already out of the car. That's car number 79 of Keith Martin. Out of Burleson, Texas, Ryan Hall Racing, and you can tell he's not very happy about that one. Ryan Hall Racing on the side, start money, a little bit upset. Express Car Wash of Texas, ProTech, the local hair salon, Abilene Powder Coating, Bennick Shock, BK Windows, Maxim Chassis, a JD Racing engine. 1 win on the season, 7 top 5s, 7 top 10s, and 12 feature starts. Night number 1 would see that car number 79, Keith Martin, finish in the 7th position. As Martin kind of showing his displeasure towards another driver over in turn number 4. As I understand, car number 11W of Wyatt Burks back into the work area. Back into the work area with that car number 11W of Wyatt Burks. And as car number 79, Keith Martin, going off on the hook here tonight. Scoring, looking over the field. 20 laps in the books. 10 to go. 28, Corey Schutte, our leader. 74, Xavier Doney. Ricky Lewis. Riley Kreisel scored 5th. Scored 4th, rather. Marley Klauser, 5th. Matt Sherrill in that car number 15, 6th. The 5. Jesse Vermillion, Blake Vermillion. The Vermillion boys with a good showing here tonight. The 06 of Ryland Gray. How about the 15E of Dakota Earls right in front of that car number 15B of Quentin Benson. The gentleman, Jack Wagner, trying to make a run back towards the front, followed by the 16 of Anthony Nicholson. The 24W of Casey Schumann, the 21 of Caleb Stelzik after the engine change. Car number 78 of Rod Cahoe. The 33, Wesley Smith. The 26 of Zach Clark. As looking around the field, making sure everybody's still good. I believe the 11W of Wyatt Burks in the work area with the clock ticking. So I understand the 11W Wyatt Burks to his trailer. As the field is set, choose cone back into play on the front straightaway. Corey Schutte taking advantage of it last time, took it to the high side, takes the lead. Xavier Doney right there in second now. Ricky Lewis has been fast up on the high line as well. We'll see what they choose at the cone. Schutte goes low. Doney high, Ricky Lewis low. Riley Kreisel high. Mario Klauser high. Rylan Gray gaining a bunch of positions. Quentin Benson gaining some. Look at Jack Wagner coming towards the front as well. So the lights go down. The field is set. The 28, Corey Schutte on the inside. The 74, Xavier Doney on the high line. Ricky Lewis, Riley Kreisel, Matt Sherrill, Mario Klauser, all inside the top 6. Schutte's race to start. A little over halfway through as we look for green out of 4. Schutte fires them right at the cone. Xavier Doney not fooled. Going into turns number 1 and 2. Ricky Lewis going to look to the low line, force the 28 of Corey Schutte up to the high side. Lewis now into the runner-up spot. Doney to the lead. Matt Sherrill now going to try to battle into third. As Schutte hits the cushion a little bit, bobbles around. That's going to make a chain effect. Everybody dodging and weaving, trying to get through the field. Slide job for the lead. Lewis to the point. Doney with some speed. Down the back straightaway. Doney pulling wheel to wheel as they go into turns number 3 and 4. Lewis shooting back to the inside off turn number 4. It's going to be Ricky Lewis, your new leader, at the line. Ricky Lewis into 1 and 2. Doney right there in his tire tracks, trying to diamond off the corner. Schutte running third. Matt Sherrill to 4th. The 73V of Blake Vermillion. The 5, Jesse Vermillion, and the 91 of Riley Kreisel. 3 wide off of 4. Anthony Nicholson catfishing around the inside as we're 4 wide down the front straightaway with the 6 of Mario Klauser way up top side. No driver lifting as they come out of turn number 2. It's the 41. Ricky Lewis at the point. Doney trying to run him down. Schutte, Sherrill, Kreisel, the top 5. Here comes Jack Wagner now, up to 7th in car number 77. 6th is the 6th of Mario Klauser. Everybody looking up on the high line. High line definitely showing speed here tonight. 22 laps in the books. Sherrill thought about looking to the low side of the 28 of Riley Kreisel. That may open up the door as Schutte going to look to the inside. He's going to put a slide job on the 74 of Xavier Doney. Doney crossing him back over. All this going on right behind our leader, exactly what he wants to see. Ricky Lewis trying to check out on the field. Lewis at the point. Doney running second, has company in car number 28 of Corey Schutte. Here comes the 6th of Mario Klauser, the 15 of Matt Sherrill, 77 of Wagner, and the 91 of Kreisel going side by side at a turn number 4. 3-car battle for the runner-up spot. It's going to be Doney up on the high side. Way up track goes the 91 of Kreisel. No idea how he kept his foot in it and stayed green, as he does lose a couple of spots, but not losing anything down the front chute and into turns number 1 and 2. 5 laps remain. Ricky Lewis at the point. Doney going to try to run him down. Schutte rounding out the podium placements. Matt Sherrill running 4th. Mario Klauser up to 5th. Jack Wagner now all the way up, back up to the 6th spot. Jesse Vermillion, Riley Kreisel, Casey Schumann cracking into the top 10. Rylan Gray rounding out the top 10. Ricky Lewis, a little bit of bobble as he went into turns number 3 and 4 as Doney running him down. Down the front straightaway, Doney now going to look for the lead. Slide job through turns number 1 and 2. Ricky Lewis crossing it back over. Down the back straightaway, Lewis with the lead. But here comes Doney. He's once again going to look to the low line. Let it drift up a little bit. Lewis crossing it back over at the line again. Doney right on his tail tank going into turns number 1 and 2. Doney again, let it drift up as Lewis avoids contact down the back straightaway. 2-car battle for the lead. Lewis on the top. Doney looking low. Doney going to let it drift up a little bit as caution flag waves. Caution waves. Exit of 4. The 91 of Riley Kreisel. As this one was setting up for an outstanding finish. The 41 of Ricky Lewis And the 74 of Xavier Doty, two-car battle for the lead. Schutte was right there in hot pursuit. Car number 91 of Riley Kreisel coming to a stop down off of turn number 4, as well as the 33 of Wesley Smith off turn number 2. So last time by at the flag stand, it was 0.07 seconds at the line. Schutte running third, Klauser, Sherrill inside the top 5. So with less than 5 laps remaining, the choose cone, throw it out the window. It's a single file restart on this one. As it's going to be the 41, Ricky Lewis, setting the pace. 74, Xavier Doty showing speed here in the late stages. Corey Schutte, Mario Klauser, Matt Sherrill inside the top 5. Jesse Vermillion, Casey Schumann, Jack Wagner, Rylan Gray, Quentin Benson, Anthony Nicholson, Dakota Earls, Blake Vermillion, Rob Cahoe, Zach Clark, Caleb Stelzick, Wesley Smith is the field. I understand repairs have been made over in the work area. Car number 91, Riley Kreisel coming back out onto the racetrack. He'll get that car refired, tag it to the rear of the field. So looking at a green-white checkered flag finish here for championship night of the 13th annual Jesse Hoickett Daniel McMillan Memorial. 91 of Kreisel able to get that car refired. He'll tag it to the rear of the field. 41, Ricky Lewis setting the pace. The 74, Xavier Doty sitting in second. Corey Schutte, Mario Klauser, Matt Sherrill, Jesse Vermillion, Casey Schumann, Jack Wagner, Rylan Gray, Quentin Benson, Anthony Nicholson, Dakota Earls, Blake Vermillion, Rob Cahoe, Zach Clark, Caleb Stelzick, Wesley Smith, Riley Kreisel, the field. The lights go down. The field is set. Looking for green out of turn number 4. 28 laps in the books. Green, white, checkered flag finish. Lewis setting the pace. His race to start. Doty laying in wait. Schutte anticipating action off of 4. Good start by the field. Back to green. Here at the diamond of the dirt tracks. Lewis looking on the high side. Here comes Doty. Trying to let it drift up a little bit and gain some speed. Speaking of speed, here comes the speed wagon. Mario Klauser to throw his name in the mix. Wheel to wheel with car number 28 of Corey Schutte as the white flag waves. One more time around. It's Ricky Lewis with the lead. Doty searching. Schutte running third. Klauser and Sherrill the top 5, but down the back straightaway. Slinging it sideways one last time through 3 and off of 4. Feature winner. It's going to be car number 41 of Ricky Lewis. Second place, the 74, Xavier Doty. Third place, 28 of Corey Schutte. Mario Klauser finishing 4th. Casey Schumann 5th. Matt Sherrill 6th. Jesse Vermillion 7th. Rylan Gray, Jack Wagner, Anthony Nicholson all scored inside the top 10.